Kia ora from Aotearoa. It's Poppy Joy here. Feeling it, starting to feel more joy. And just wanted to check in. I actually haven't been up to making videos or speaking out into the public for a little bit, and I thought I would. Really to encourage others and encourage myself. I mean, all I'm doing is just talking about my reality, my observations, and what I'm seeing, which does have themes for everyone everywhere. So there's a lot going on, in attempts to keep people in fear, keep people away from feeling the gratitude and the appreciation and the calm that we possibly could. However, we can still have our times when we might access that. For me, I've had a major healing actually just in the last few days. I also want to express my gratitude for people who donated through the Imagination podcast so that I could see some health practitioners, which I have done, and so now I'm feeling a lot more supported and have got a health plan going that I have some confidence in that's really necessary, and issues addressed that I just couldn't detect this one for myself, and I'm actively working on these ones. And like during this time, and especially for survivors, our systems may be taking quite a hammering, and we're going to need to find our ways of finding nervous system harmony again, because there's a lot of energy and there's a lot going on that's kind of been designed to disrupt that. But it's easy for us to be caught into it. I'm finding I really need to limit my online time, and I'm really only limiting it to supportive connections at this time, particularly among survivors that are just really encouraging one another to heal and to come through all our different scenarios, because we're all in different states and we're all having different experiences. But as survivors, there's a little bit more comprehension on what's involved in the process of deprogramming and clearing and reprogramming. So I'm very, very grateful, and I'm very grateful to the people that have allowed me to take care of these health issues, just with having not been able to work for several years and having to confront what happened to me. It wasn't possible without your support, and because the system designs it that way for it not to be possible. They want to be the parent in some ways that has the answer to everything, that has us trauma bonded to that. We will move out of that, and we will create communities of care, because the system will continue to fall and fold, and we will find other ways of that are going to be much, much supportive for everybody. And these are ways that are going to be coming into unconditional love. I've been reflecting on this unconditional love and really trying to apply it to all my hurt little parts that are still healing and growing up and learning. They deserve to have a happy home. They deserve to have comfort. and all the wonderful things that the haves have that the have-nots have not necessarily had. That's going to all change. So yeah, part of this unconditional love is when there's no more guilt or shame or no more dense emotion that's still hanging on or interfering. And I've definitely had a lot. There's been a lot of programs to be undone, and there's been a massive clearing from within me. There's been my connection to food that was very, very disrupted from infancy. And I deserve to be really, really well nourished. And so yeah, I'm changing my programming now to be so that I can actually accept the nutrients into my body. Yeah, so I might have been good with the detox part, but the nourishing part's really important, and it's actually really important that we all nourish ourselves really, really well, that we stay very grounded and very present and very practical at this time, you know, so that we are allowing all our parts to grow up healthy within. That's if we have parts, but we're just even allowing our inner child, that will apply to everybody. Just transforming health through deprogramming and reprogramming with unconditional love and acceptance. It's a huge process, you know, and some of these parts can be, you know, they were designed to do terrible things, and those parts came out of tortured children, and that tortured child deserves all our love to be poured upon it, and to be soothed, and to be calmed, and to be, you know, we can give it resources, so we can give our little child the things that it didn't have back then, like the power to evade danger, the power that protection comes in, that we can stop things before they happen, that we again, we don't consent to ever being tortured. Now, we didn't have that ability as a child to state that. And when we look at things in light of natural law or universal law, the law of non-consent is absolutely significant, and when that is broken, that's actually a breaking in universal law, and those that break it, there are consequences for them, but we have to actually state our non-consent, you know. So I with all what they're trying to do with all the weather, and when David Icke is telling us the next layer of the plan, I am speaking it out loud. I do not consent. And there's actually power in that. There's electromagnetic power in our words and our statements, especially when they come through with passion. And they can come through with passion when we go to protect our inner child, or protecting the parts of us that did get hurt, so that they can come back into a fullness and a wholeness, and feel embraced and transformed into parts of us that work for us, and parts that might just need to play, parts that might just need to experience the joy and innocence and delight of nature, the simple things. Yeah, so one of the things that I'm doing at the moment for nervous system harmonisation and de-stressing, because this is going to be huge for just about everybody, is if you go to YouTube and you search Human Garage 28-day reset, that will take you to a short 15-minute video, which is like something that can be done daily, and we will release so much toxicity out of our fascia system, which is like another brain, I've found out, and we can and then we will start to nurture and mineralize. Like there's a transformation that can possibly happen. Like, this is just a practical tool, because I feel like at the moment we really need to get very practical. I mean, I know that I'm speaking for myself a lot. I certainly do. I can hear a tui in the background. That's the bird. It's a beautiful native bird. And its totem energy is the totem of alignment. So here we are. It's speaking with its voice. Alignment, harmonisation. I just love communication from nature. Yeah. So knowing that we are actually, in all truth, we are all 100% valuable. We have a soul. The soul is like our essence. And if we had the full range of sight, we would actually see massive amounts of colour around people, which would actually tell the story of their soul and who they are. Now, this is always our foundation, and it's always there, and this is 100% valuable. It's vital. So this is underneath all the, if we're still experiencing pain and grief and all of these things, and shame, and like, these things will come up. They will come up to show us what needs transforming, what needs deprogramming, all of these kinds of things, which like it takes years, if not lifetimes. But we are definitely in this time now where the old is really, 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 really dropping away. And as it does, the old versions of ourselves are coming into, they it's like they are part of us. They can be harmonized. They can come into harmony and balance. And this is the big thing that I feel is so necessary at the moment. Like, if each one of us just did our personal healing, this world would automatically change through each and every one of us. So it's actually one of the most wonderful things that we can do, and to not get invested in the dramas and the antics and the play that's put out in news media, internet, social media, all of those things, but to have a lot of that time, which is our own time, where we can reflect, we can meditate, we can be still, and we can do what is loving for our soul, for our being. So yeah, I hope it's just sort of like inspiring, comforting, empowering. I guess that's why I'm saying this, is we're here, we can empower one another. We will be growing together in the future into new ways of being, in community of care, materializing things quite differently in the future is going to come, as those tools of the system, the tools of this matrix world are dissipating and being taken down and transformed. Yeah, so much love to you.